I hope I caught that.
I don't feel very well.
Madness, suicide and murder await the most haunted team in Lancashire. Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. We've come to a manor house that's seen more than its fair share of misery. So much so, the dead are still after some answers. With poltergeist activity, phantoms and full apparitions, I just had to bring you to Samlesbury Hall. Located 3 miles east of Preston, the original hall was destroyed by Scottish troops following the Battle of Bannockburn. Rebuilt in the 14th century, it stayed in predominantly Catholic family hands until 1850, when it briefly served as a public house and then a boarding school. Neglected and near to demolition, it was saved by trustees in 1925 and now serves as a public museum.
The building goes back to 1325, when Gilbert de Southworth built a medieval hall house here. Part of that still exists to this day.
As well as unexplained voices, the shape of a white lady has been seen walking through the Great Hall. Also, the figure of a dark shape has been seen here too.
About 3 months ago, I was pushed in the Great Hall. I was walking through and came to the fireplace, and I definitely felt a real push in my back. Went forward and it felt strange.
People feel frightened and uneasy in this, the priest's room, so called because a priest was actually murdered on this very spot. Ever since then, a blood stain appears on the floor for no apparent reason. A dark shape has often been seen walking behind me in this room, the parlour. It's said to be the ghost of a young man called Joseph Harrison, who committed suicide here in 1878.
He was a big businessman in the area and he renovated the place. And at least on one occasion, Charles Dickens actually stayed here in the house with him. But he was an unfortunate man. He spent too much money. He went bankrupt and he blew his brains out with a revolver somewhere here in this house. So it's pretty obvious that his ghost, amongst others, must haunt this place.
I heard these steps on the stairs, and the steps must have come up about 25 stairs, quite deliberate steps. Shod steps, they wasn't bare feet, and they stopped at the door I was in, and of course I said, is there anybody there? There was no answer, so I opened the Victorian servant's door, and there was nobody there at all.
It's not just the inside of the hall that is supposedly haunted. The outside has a secret all of its own. Many years ago, 3 people were murdered here and secretly buried, and their ghosts have been seen roaming around the grounds ever since. So is Samlesbury Hall haunted? We have 24 hours to find out. Joining our investigation in Lancashire is parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe, who'll be casting an impartial eye over tonight's events. But what are his first impressions of this ancient location? Kieran, here we are at Samlesbury Hall. Now, you've had a chance to look around the whole of the property. Is there anything that sort of strikes you as being strange already, or anything happened to you?
Yeah, I've done preliminary baseline tests in all of the haunted rooms. The room that I'm particularly interested in is actually the priest's room. Mainly because of the eyewitness accounts, all seem to be quite negative reports and a feeling of unease and just a sense of presence.
Now, there's a lot of people saying that they've seen apparitions here, they've heard lots of voices. So what sort of experiments will you be conducting this evening?
In terms of the auditory phenomena that's happened, the easiest thing to set up is simply a tape recorder. So we'll just have to check back on that occasionally. The apparitions is a lot tougher. I mean, thankfully, on an investigation like this, we've got a lot of cameras around. So if the White Lady, who is the apparition that people have seen, if she does appear, you're perhaps increasing your chances somewhat, and certainly making a very strong, concerted effort to catch something on film.
We have invited 2 spiritualist mediums to participate in this investigation. Both Derek Acora and David Wells were brought here separately, and neither have had any previous knowledge of this building or its dishonourable past. With everyone eager and excited, it was time to reveal the hidden secrets of Samlesbury Hall.
This is my favourite room in the whole building because it's just so beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although, walking into this atmosphere, this ether, it's like, what it seems to be, the smell of, like damp cloth or cotton. And I just feel as if, I'm not saying there's bales of it around, but I just get that, you know, coming up at me.
No, I can't smell anything.
Can you not smell anything?
No, the only smell that I'm getting is remnants
For
of
the
maybe
fire.
when the fire was on the last time.
Okay. I really don't feel it's that, but, you know, that... also, as, you know, I'm picking up is if we've got movement here, activity, not just the residual energy in this great building. And I'm becoming more aware of a wandering, a feeling of wandering, going through rooms, and the feelings are with a lady. Mm-hmm. And this lady, if I may use these words, to me it feels like as if she's in some kind of tormented mind. And she's not resolved whatever it is that's been tormenting her. And I feel she's been around this building for a lot of years.
How many years back would you say?
At this point, I'd say hundreds of years, probably.
Right.
But a very nice soul. I feel a good soul, but a woman who's got this, I don't want to say vengeance, but a little bit I was picking this up even as strong as what I am now, and this feeling of not being able to forgive something that's happened in her life. And yet, I feel as if my head here now seems to be throbbing and aching, and I seem to be losing my vision. And I feel this must have happened to this lovely lady, going back in time. What caused this, I don't know at the moment.
Would you be able to find out if she passed over naturally?
OK, I'll ask her. Did she, God, Sam, did she come over naturally? She passed away. She what? She passed away from here. Why? Did she belong to this building? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She was forcefully sent away. She was forcefully sent away.
How old was she when this happened?
How old was she? His words, a young woman. A young woman. She wasn't even at the prime of her life. She was locked away.
Locked away here?
Was she in prison? Was it here? No, not here. She walks around this building, still, oh God, bless her, cursing who? Cursing her father? Cursing her father. Her father. For what he did. For what he did. For what he did. She's searching for her love. She's searching for her love. What does that mean?
Do you want to walk
Can
further?
we, please? Yeah. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. We've got a man who is John, who Catholicism, the faith is so strong in this atmosphere, and his thoughts are covering up her thoughts. In other words, she's walking around freely, And she's cursing her own father. She's cursing her own father, this young woman.
What did she do before all of this happened?